Another week, another food scandal it seems, and this time it's the turn of meat to be the culprit. China's Ministry of Public Security announced it uncovered 10 major cases of adulterated or fraudulent meat in a crackdown on substandard meat products. Of these, 2 cases have drawn particular public attention and ire. In one, police have arrested 3 people in Fujian province for selling at least 40 tons of meat from sick or dead pigs to processing factories. 2 of those arrested had actually been hired by local government in Fujian to dispose of the dead animals, but instead they took the money and then illegally sold them in several provinces. A disease prevention and control centre tested the meat and found the pigs had died of highly contagious diseases. In another case, police in the city of Wuxi in Jiangsu province cracked a large fake mutton ring that allegedly used meat from foxes, mink and even rats and other animals, and then treated it with chemicals to make it resemble more expensive mutton. Police have detained no less than 900 people, including market traders and restaurant staff. They said the fake meat entered the market in Shanghai and may have made it onto the tables of popular hot pot restaurants in the city. So how has the online community reacted to the latest unsavoury revelations? To find out, let's head over now to our researcher Julia Liu in the newsroom. So Julia, let's hear what's being said about this case first of the butchers there, part of the actually paid by the government to dispose of diseased meat, who actually sold it on to consumers. What's being said about it?
Well, there's obviously quite a bit of outrage and condemnation, and the poster from Hunan is a representative of many net users who worry about what is safe to eat now. Well, we can't eat chicken because of the bird flu, and now we can't eat pork either. The vegetables have pesticides in them, so what can we eat then? Well, this poster Yang Gengshen on bgnews.com.cn says, the key element here isn't just the government workers were involved. It's also that they are agricultural officials responsible for the safe disposal of the dead pigs. And of course, the officials supposed to be regulating these areas come in for quite a bit of stake. And this poster says, we've uncovered so many food scandals, but what about the ones we still don't know about? What are the regulators doing? And this poster, Zhang Jingwei, also blames a lack of adequate supervision. The reason the diseased and the dead pigs went on the market is because of loopholes in the supervision system. If they can get away with this sort of thing under the noses of the government, it indicates flawed public administration. While Fu Xiaowei feels the problem has to do with China's agricultural system. Why are there so many underground workshops? The problem of a high dispersal rate exists in every link of the domestic agricultural industry chain. Farmers, feedstuff, slaughter, processing and consumption. Wide dispersal of all of these makes it almost impossible to supervise every step. And this makes it easy for this kind of thing to happen. Scaled up operation and big brand enterprises will result in better products.
Okay, then that's one solution. Now moving on to the case of the fake mutton, a huge operation it seems. But is it really cheaper to catch foxes and rats than just raising sheep in the normal way?
Well, actually, one of the suspects in this case was interviewed by the state television, and he admitted using fox meat for mutton, but denied they had ever used rats. However, police said some other suspects did say rat was used. As for the fox meat, they explained that they come from Shandong, where farmers raise foxes for their fur and sell the carcasses cheaply. And a poster called Mu Mu from Hunan has this black humor. I saw a TV report about someone using artificial chemical materials to make shredded jellyfish. So I guess these guys are a little more honorable. At least they use the real meat. And poster Yunshu wonders this. Could it be that fox meat tastes better than mutton? However, this poster Qingfeng warns that these are not your average healthy foxes. Well, these kinds of foxes are pumped full of hormone to boost their growth. They are very different from wild foxes. Well, this poster MRTMAC suspects he may have unknowingly consumed the faked mutton. No wonder that every time I eat mutton in the south, I feel nauseous and get the runs, and it doesn't taste like mutton either. And for poster from Tianjin, the restaurants that ended up serving the fake mutton should bear some of the blame. Well, these buyers don't care if the meat is genuine or not. They just want cheaper ingredients. Perhaps the buyers and sellers all know this. It's just the poor diners who aren't in on the joke.
Okay, Julia, not a pleasant situation overall. So what's been learned from this? Any measures suggested to improve the situation in the future?
Well, according to the Beijing Times, a new Supreme Court interpretation of the law will mean harsher sentences for those convicted of crimes related to food safety. But for one, severe food poisoning cases and other illnesses caused by ignoring food safety regulations will now be tried as the production and sale of toxic and harmful food, rather than just the production and sale of substandard food. At the same time, the judicial authorities will impose more severe punishment for those found guilty of supervision lapse or negligence. But Zhang Junyu on Sina.com.cn doesn't seem that optimistic though. Well, where food safety issues are concerned, we still run around like headless chickens. Never mind coming up with a basic, clearly thought out solution. We aren't even clear about what standards to apply. And we have this anonymous poster on Sina.com.cn who feels that it might be time to look outside the country for help. Look, can't we just make the sacrifice and fork out a big salary to hire a foreign expert to supervise our food safety department? And finally, this poster echoes what on the previous ones said, saying it's not all about supervision and punishment, but about systems. Well, sure, supervision and application of the law are essential, but the eventual solution relies on the industrialization of agriculture, a fully developed market, and the cultivation of market ethics.
Okay, thanks for that, Julia. And that was China Take researcher Julia Liu with online reaction to those cases involving adulterated or fake meat on the Chinese markets in Shanghai and Wuxi. Next up on China Take, some of the top trending phrases on China's most popular search engines.